If this was about success, if this was about money, I feel like you could go hard. You might have a background in business. You feel like the way you think, there's nothing wrong with it. Focus on what other people feel is just part of your business background. How people think, how people feel, your target audience, all this language here is how you were trained. But you have a kingdom has turned all of that education upside down. It's no longer valid. It doesn't matter. Now you have to focus on your spiritual training, and you're out here fishing. You're becoming a fisher of men, and anybody can fall into that category. I feel like you're really focused on the money. That's all you can think about. And this has been your issue. It might have even pushed you into poverty because, I mean, not to get into the reasons why, because yeah, it's because like the parents say, you can go into the psychology of why what you're chasing isn't coming to fruition, why you've had to go down. The more you want to go up, the farther down and deeper into this mud you sink. Queen of Wands. Yeah, it's like you want to be a queen, but you are being told to serve. It's like your spirit, it's like your ego is being humbled. And even so, you're like, well, if I serve for the kingdom, am I going to be a queen? Am I going to sit on the right hand side of Christ? And that's for God to decide. God decides who gets that position. But right now, you have to serve. And I feel like at this point, if you really did have to work for your salvation, this will be eternal. This is your ticket out of hell. You're not really in a position to question God. None of us are. I feel like this here. Not everything has to make sense. You can't learn from everybody. Not everybody is an example. People who seem successful have nothing to do with your mission, your assignment. This is 8 saints in Christ. Now, normally we hear about his disciples. You have 12 disciples, and you might have been focused on a certain number, maybe reaching a quota. But this is four less than 12 with these eight saints. But 8 is a special number as well. 8 represents your blessings, your abundance. This altarpiece with its original carved frame is the last documented work of the Venetian painter Antonio Vivarini. Just as the architecture of the frame fluctuates between the Gothic pointed arc and the Renaissance rounded arc, so too the painting combines Gothic elements with formal features characteristic of the early modern period. It's a very beautiful photo. I just feel like you're in good hands. The kingdom of heaven is what this whole society is based on. Streets paved in gold. If you need to think about something beautiful, I feel like if you're in a really ugly situation and there's just no way to avoid the filth, this is the Garden of Eden. This is when Eve was tempted by the serpent, the story of Adam and Eve, the original sin. It does come back to this sin that I feel like is like a probationary period that you have to go through just to be recognized as someone who is committed, someone who is loyal to the cause. The Vatican palaces contain numerous frescoes and paintings from throughout the centuries. The Loggia was painted by Raphael in his workshop after commissioned by Pope Leo X. This painting of Adam and Eve's fall adorns the second of the 13 vaults in Loggia. The tree of knowledge, precisely aligned with the central axis, divides the composition into two halves. Yeah, you do see the snake in the middle. In the two, you may have some issues with split mind, going back and forth, serving two gods. The left side is taken up by Eve, who is shown in profile standing upright by the tree and handing Adam the forbidden fruit with a graceful gesture. Adam sits on the ground to the right of the tree between stumps of branches and accepts the fruit from her with his left hand. Yeah, I feel like you are being tempted, but you don't realize that your choice. This is what they talk about the chosen. Your path was chosen for you. Okay. So this wants to come out in reverse. Yeah, so this fight isn't yours. I feel like you still have a little bit of stubbornness. Like you feel like you're leading a crowd. I feel like your emotions are so in line with your thoughts, and your feelings are so in line. Your blessings are aligned. You're in this manifestation phase. But this conflict that's going on is part of the world. You're not of the world. He has adopted a complicated sitting position with one leg folded back and his upper body twisted around to reveal his powerful musculature. He is observed by the servant, who has coiled her mighty armored body around the trunk of the tree. In her facial features and hairstyle, she bears a conspicuous resemblance to Eve, the progenitrix of the human race, thereby embodying Eve's sinfulness and seductive power. The work is clearly inspired by Michelangelo's ceiling frescoes in the Sistine Chapel, although Raphael has switched Adam and Eve's positions and given more weight to the landscape of the paradise. So this is more about your environment. And I feel like your negative influence is coming from something within your own psyche, or is disguised as something that you can relate to. All right. Can you get that? Can you hear that? Is disguised as something that you relate to. Therefore, my brethren, dearly beloved and longed for, my joy and crown, so stand fast in the Lord, my dearly beloved. You're a child of God. It doesn't matter what other people say or think or feel or about this. They may argue about the Bible. They may argue about the word. They may argue about the kingdom of heaven and Christianity, and just following Christ in general. I feel like they're waiting on the edge of their seats to argue with you, but it's their own mental illness. Christ has become of no effect unto you. Whosoever of you are justified by the law, you are fallen from grace. These are the people listening to you. The people who have their hearts and minds locked around your freedom, trying to pull you into their spiritual bondage. They're the ones in hell. They're the ones suffering. You know, Christ said that he came for the sinners. So I always talk against these people, but these are precisely the ones you're saving. These are the ones that Christ wants to get his word out to. You're being planted like a seed. This is the dirt. This is the fertile soil that will receive you. They might fight the entire time, but if that's what the case is, if they truly are weeds, then they're going to be pulled out and thrown into the fire. If they cannot be saved, if they refuse to turn over their lives to Christ, then the fire is meant for them. For they bind heavy burdens and grievous to be borne, and lay them on men's shoulders, but they themselves will not move them with one of their fingers. Oh my goodness. For they bind heavy burdens and grievous to be borne, and lay them on men's shoulders, but they themselves will not move them with one of their fingers. That is so strong and intense. These are the people of bondage. These are the people that God is separating you from. You got to walk in your truth. Follow Christ. This is not something to rebel against. I just heard the mark of the beast. Talk about that. If a man also lie with mankind, as he lieth with a woman, both of them have committed an abomination. They shall surely be put to death, and their blood shall be upon them. Is there something about a beast here? And if a man shall take his brother's wife, it is an unclean thing. He hath uncovered his brother's nakedness. They shall be childless. Maybe it does have something to do with bestial intimacy. I'm not sure what I can say. Maybe it has something to do with pets, dogs barking. I would really need to be led with that message. I don't know too much about what's happening. And herein I give my advice, for this is expedient for you. You have begun before not only to do, but also to be forward a year ago, and therefore perform the doing of it, that as there was a readiness to will, so there may be a performance also out of that which ye have. So I feel like whatever you're doing, you already know that you've been doing it. It's nothing new. This is your calling. Is nothing new. It might be new to the people where I'm from. All of a sudden she's talking about Christ and what, it's not new to you. It's who you are. So it might take them off guard. I just feel like if you feel any type of nervousness, just remember who you are, and that this is the seed growing. This is the fruit, the fruit of your efforts. We have the book of Psalms here. I will declare the decree. The Lord has said unto me, Thou art my son. This day have I begotten thee. So you're following your father's path, your father's journey. I don't know all the rules. Like I really do need to separate myself from this, because let me just move on. Is this the full message? Is this all you need to hear? Is this all I need to say? Do I need to pull any more cards? So I feel like ultimately this is something that you can walk away from. It is a gift. It is a gift that you can continue to deny and walk away from. But being a chosen person, you're going to come full circle, because it is your life's map. It's your destiny to fulfill your purpose on this earth. Everything is planned out for you. You don't have to worry about what you're going to do to make money, or what you're going to do to get food, or how you're going to get rich or wealthy, or whatever these materialistic goals are that you have that never work out. No matter how much education and ideas and plans you make, they just keep getting broken up and keep getting shut down. This is happening to you because your purpose is with Christ. Your servitude belongs to the kingdom. And I could be talking to anybody on this planet. I can't reach out to a certain anybody. I don't even know what's going on here.